gradient. What we want to do is we want to try and remove this light pollution, and I'm going to do it manually. So the first thing we're going to do is select the eyedropper tool here, and then you come up here and you choose 31 by 31 average, and then you're going to go to adjustments and levels. You can also do on a Windows computer, you can also do Control plus L. And then you're going to come to this tool here, the leftmost eyedropper. It says sample in the image to get the black spot. And we're going to double click. It opens this window. Let's just bring these windows over here so that they're out of the way a bit. And what you want to do is you want to set these, they're already set there, but you want to set these to 35 and red, 35 on green, and 35 on B, and then go OK. Choose an area which is a neutral background sky area with no stars and no nebulosity, such as that one. Now what you need to do is to adjust the black point. You want to adjust this as much as you can, but you do not want to clip it. Like if you come over here, you'll be clipping it. So you don't want to go further than there. That'll do. If we quickly go backwards and forwards, you'll see this is what it looked like before. This is what it is now. Keep our default, but we need to add a few extra points in here. I don't know why it missed a few points. Now let's click calculate background, and it's done it. Save it as a 16-bit TIFF. This is the original, and this is what it came back as. If we now go to levels and we set our black point, we come down to the black point here. So now we can compare the two. This is what we had before and after. So you can see that Graxpert has removed a lot of the light pollution. So that's an excellent result. We come down to image processing and we come down to background extraction. Click generate and it will create these boxes. It's very, very similar to Graxpert. We need to just take these away from the nebulosity and the galaxy here. So let's just remove a few of these boxes. Okay, that should do for that one. And this one, let's remove that one. And okay. Compute background. And there it's done it. So apply. Before, after. Before, after. So that's quite noticeable. So here I am now again in Photoshop, and I've loaded an image I took of the source head and flame nebula gradients here. So this is an attempt to show you with some of my worst images how good some of these tools to remove light pollution can be. So now we're going to use Gradient Xterminator by Astro. In order to use Gradient Xterminator, first of all, we need to use the lasso tool. This one here. So with the lasso tool, what I'll do is I'll circle around the areas of nebulosity which I want to be untouched. So like that. Now, what we want to do is we want to attack the gradient around these areas, not within the nebula. So what we need to do is select and inverse. So what this is going to do is it's going to apply the Gradient Xterminator to this area and leave the area around the nebulosity or containing the nebulosity totally untouched. Select filter, come down to RC Astro, and there's the Gradient Xterminator tool. Select that. We're on medium under detail and medium for aggressiveness. And I've also got this ticked, balance background color. Click OK. And it's done one extraction of the gradient tool. Let's see what that looks like. That was the original. That was the original. And this is what we've got now. Original and after. Lasso tool around our nebulosity. Select inverse. Filter. Gradient Xterminator. Let's come up here to high aggressiveness and try again. So I think that's much better. The original with the terrible, terrible light pollution, especially over here, but also quite bad there. And then after the gradient tool, it's balanced it quite well. Then what you would do following that is levels. And you can see that we can move the black point. And in fact, there is room here without clipping. We can go further. And we could try a further iteration of the gradient tool. You can see this is not really a very great image. It's really, really affected by light pollution, but that's why I've chosen it for you. Let's run the filter again. This time let's run it on medium aggressiveness. And it is yet again a little bit better. Originally, and then we got down to that point, and now we're down to there. So that's what it was without the second iteration. Now it's there. Of course, you can do some more processing and make this even better. Let's try levels again. If you wanted to, you could even bring that down a little bit more, as long as you don't clip the signal. And you can get down to that. So that has enabled us to neutralize the light pollution quite a bit, but I don't think as well as some of the other tools have done. Here we have the same image that we just looked at of the Horsehead Nebula and Flame Nebula. So what we're going to do is we're now going to click on Filter and come down to Pro Digital Software, Astroflat Pro. And I'll put the full information of this tool and all the other tools in the description of this video if you want to check them out. Okay, so Astroflat Pro, you've got a few settings here. First of all, what you want to do, and you've got the preview window so you can see what it's going to look like. So you want to take the smoothness up and then bring it down gradually until it starts to eat into the nebula. You see that if you go too far, it will eat into the nebula. So just back it off so it doesn't eat into your nebula. Keeps your nebulosity. We don't want to eat into that nebulosity. So about there, 38. Edge cleanup is cleaning up the edges. So we can see there that it's done quite a good job there. And dark noise, again, we can apply that a bit. Don't want too much or it's going to eat into the nebula. So about there. And click OK. And you can see that's made an amazing difference.